I've never seen you dressed so so great, actually.
Nor you so poorly. Do you know why?
Why?
Because you're not judging the 2010 Greenwich Concours d'Elegance.
Which I guess you aren't, because you have a judge's badge.
And do you know how you get a judge's badge?
How?
Buy a seersucker suit in the late 90s in the outlet mall, wherever, the Woodland Hills Cemetery, and you get one of these. And which is why we're here today, judging cars. And what are we standing in front of?
The 8C, one of only a few hundred actually in the country.
And when I say the word disgrace, name the first two things that come to mind.
Well...
Too late. Your outfit and the fact that this car
yes.
is in the back of the Miller Motor Cars display. Because it is...
It's phenomenal.
It's phenomenal.
It's, yeah. It belongs closer in the middle.
Unlike some of the cars here. Today on the Road Testament.
Exclusively at autostream.com/yoparts.
When you think J.F. Musial, well, we know what I think of J.F. Musial. And the antonym of J.F. Musial, Michael Lindgren. Chowder Society, race car driver, friend.
Welcome home.
Man of taste and knowledge and expertise. In fact, he's also the antonym of me. Thanks for having us today.
Thanks for coming.
Michael, will you tell us about the criteria for judging a car at the Greenwich Concours?
Sure. Judging at the Greenwich is fairly liberal. We adhere to the French judging rules, which places a lot on the wow factor.
Well, I'm a great exaggerator, which is French for lying. And if I own a vintage car, which maybe one of my cars will become vintage someday, and I intend to sell it, I would want to bring it here and tell the most unbelievable lies about its history in order to increase its value after getting a trophy. Have you ever been unbelievably well lied to? And if so, tell us what that story was.
And bribed.
Bribes, really? You have people bribing?
That.
Yeah, we clear a few $100s every judging session.
Really?
A few hundred?
Yeah. We split it 3 ways. There are 3 judges.
When you're judging a car, what do you look for? What are the things that, a lot of people look at it, oh, the paint's good. That's one aspect, or...
Well, again, it's the wow factor. It's how the vehicle impacts the judge's thoughts on, like this Cadillac.
This Cadillac, I don't know what year it is. It doesn't matter.
You're supposed to know this as a judge.
Whatever. Note the convenience of having lockable storage on either side of the car. You don't have to go to the trunk. Just so an obvious little thing, okay? Notice the sill has a little thing for your hands. You close the door if you just don't happen to know where the handle is inside. This is a really nice point here, okay? The wheel caps. On, off arrows on the cap, but actually designed as part of the car's design. It's actually beautiful. And that's something you rarely see. Today, you get a cap.
You get plastic caps that you need to pull off with a wrench.
The rest of the car, who cares? That's art. I've seen criteria listed like patina. Define that.
Patina is best defined as the wear and tear throughout the life of the vehicle and how it survived.
This is the 1957 Austin Healey Barn Discovery Special Edition, available for $5,000 to $10,000 without reserve. I actually think this car is an incredible find. Its patina is worn, but historicity high. It clearly is
20,000 miles on the clock, if that's right.
They're not lying when they say Barn Discovery model, which is a very rare model. In fact, if you could order it just like this in the factory, I would. But I have one problem with this car, and its originality is just, it's not 100% accurate to the factory spec.
How so?
Inside is a post-1976 mini RCA stereo left-right iPod adapter cable. That's not a factory spec cable.
Yep.
I'm absolutely disgusted. What is the difference between, I guess, history or historicity, I suppose, to find that?
You define.
I have no
Really?
idea what.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know.
You're a judge.
A Bugatti Veyron and a McLaren SLR. Two of the most expensive cars in the world today.
Correct.
Historicity of my gut tells me that the Veyron, because it was the ultimate expression of technology at a certain time and place, unlikely to be repeated for a long time. But the SLR is just another supercar.
But both cars were the cutting edge of technology in the era.
Okay.
The McLaren, we're talking 1992, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, yes.
So 15 years
But
later.
the SLR McLaren, the Mercedes, no.
Not yet. Yeah.
So historicity high. I see. Okay.
Only because of the technological advances that in materials, design, and raw speed.
The reason I am so excited to show you this Packard
Yeah.
is because it has this little opening. Now, most of the cars here have a little door on the side, which is for the dedicated golf club storage.
Yeah.
A nice feature. I don't really care how to play golf. This opens a vent to send cool air to the feet of the passengers at the back. And I bet you it's more reliable than pressing a button in any modern car
pretty cool.
to send air to your feet, which, as you know, never works after the floor mat gets over the vents.
Well, it's the small things like that that actually makes classic cars so unique. Why would we not take stuff we've learned from the past and integrate it into current cars?
Funny you should mention it. I'll show you why in the next car.
Okay.
This Rolls Royce and this Packard, because they demonstrate something which we don't really have today.
What?
You've got a modern car.
Yeah.
You want to bring more luggage. Every old car here has this rack on the back.
Yeah.
You lower it. You lower it, and you know what happens? You have a deck, which you see, like on this car. It's Packard, which has this beautiful chest on the rear. You know, you can buy a modern car and get, you know, fitted luggage. Lose that luggage. Try getting a replacement 5 years later at any price.
Well, like the Panamera has like $700, $800 luggage.
It's a pathetic
Yeah.
disgrace. Because here you actually could have a chest full of stuff. You can actually take the chest, the entire thing, up to your apartment. Now come check this out. Another beautiful design feature. Well, you have the golf club storage right down here.
Yes.
All right. Marble shift knob. Class. Ben.
You can't say that that's not done today because the
Well, you can get
the GT500 actually has a cue ball.
Oh,
Is-
wow.
I'm
Wow.
I'm trying to counterpoint your point.
Wow. This is one.
Such a dick.
But yeah, it's a cue ball. It's not a beautiful piece of marble. And of course you have the hood ornament, which, well, I guess in some places you might go to jail for owning that, but is still a very beautiful hood ornament. Let's not talk about that too much. Мой друг, J.F. Это очень интересный экраноплан. Это Tupolev 008 экраноплан. Очень интересный, очень странный, очень cool.
How am I supposed to respond to you?
Whoa! Look, dude,
240D.
mid 240. This.
I think this is the car
Does
you'd buy.
Mercedes still make Mercedes? Well, I remember when they did, because this is a Mercedes.
This color is phenomenal. The paint, look at that. There's no swirls in the paint.
It's a diesel.
What's this going for? $8,000 to $12,000. For $10,000, this is a great buy. And you can tell it's Euro spec without the mirrors.
Look at the cars here and look at the prices. We are fools.
Why buy a modern car when you can get one of these?
Yeah, that's true.
Come to an auction, maybe you get an even better deal than you thought you could. One of my favorite cars of all time, the Lamborghini Miura. I asked Valentino Balboni 3 years ago at Pebble Beach what was his favorite car. He's driven 70% of all Lamborghinis ever built. Miura, Miura, Miura. That's all he could say.
What did he say was its only problem, though?
Well, one of the biggest problems is actually because the gas tank is actually fitted in the front of the car, right over the front wheels. As the fuel goes down and you lose, and you're just driving, 200, 300 miles later, the front of the car actually becomes, the weight distribution gets messed up, so it actually loses its handling. So it's best to drive this with a full tank of gas when there's most of the weight over the front wheels.
But as you know from most gas gauge accuracy, it's best to drive every car with a full tank of gas.
That's very true.
I agree with you. It's gorgeous.
This is a great car to finish the day off on.
Well, what about the Volkswagen Thing, or that Lancia Stratos over there, or all the cars here that make new cars look really disgraceful. You're right.
Yeah.
Let's wrap here.
Yep.
The Mira, one of the most beautiful cars ever made.
Next week we're going to Formula One.
Formula One, and then after that we're doing more Lemons prep.
Lemons, of
Next
course.
up on the road testing.
I have no idea what we're talking about, JF. This is how I feel about you. Gentle, no hurting.